On the video where I'm talking about how I don't think that I would build up financial resources ever again after what I've been through financially, a lot of you said, but how will you retire? And I don't pretend to have all the answers, but here's where I'm at with it. I think that it would be possible to retire. I think that I could build up the financial resources to do so. But the calculation I have is this going to be a good use of my human time here? Is it going to mean that I'm going to have to scrimp and save my whole life and not have a lot of the comforts that I want now? And sort of what do I think the future is going to be like? I personally think the future is going to be a lot worse, ecologically at least. And so the calculation is, do I even want to save for this future? My experience of my financial life as a millennial has been that the powers that be promised me that my needs were going to get met just around the corner. And so I've waited to live my life, my entire life. And when I finally let myself live and let myself let go of the idea that I was ever going to have much money, that I was ever going to own a house, that I was ever going to be able to do anything financially, once I just let myself live and let myself spend money, I have been so much happier and more abundant. And the fact that I don't have to live with that tightening because I am not planning for any kind of retirement is payment enough for me to let go of all the ways that I have tried to be financially prudent and tried to save myself for the future. It seems to me that we are all incredibly stressed out because we are not able to meet our own survival needs. We depend on the system to give us shelter and food and basic well-being. And it's that reliance that gives us so much stress. I will not hold an individual responsibility for retirement. I think that it is a failing of the system that there is no social safety net. It would be my hope that we figure something out for people by the time I am old. Right now, there is a system of running out people's wealth all at the end of their life to pay for long-term care facilities and the last week of their life, keeping them on life support. My hope is that we would not have such a culture of keeping people alive at all costs, and we would not run out people's wealth on situations that they don't need. I don't have kids, so there's no one that's going to be burdened with my existence. And I sort of wish that someone would return me to the forest if I'm ever too feeble to work or be productive or be useful to anyone. But obviously, we live in a concrete hellscape, and so I don't think people are going to be returned to the forest. I think that it should probably be legal to euthanize people if they would like to be euthanized, but it gets pretty dark. Again, I don't have the answers, but I know that my answer is not to save for retirement, that I would rather live with the ease that that gives me than worry about it my whole life. As far as property ownership, I would own property again, but I would never own it alone. I would own it in some sort of collective land trust or some sort of collective ownership, specifically so that it couldn't be taken away from me personally. I think that it could still be taken away from the collective, but the main thing is that it would not be hinging on my personal credit score or be my sole financial burden to bear. I would not bear that financial burden alone again.